We begin here in the historic Civil Rights District in Birmingham at the entrance of Kelly Ingram Park, where a monument sits to the 4 girls who were killed in the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing. That church sits just across the street. It's still an active place of worship today. And if you look to your left, the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute, a place where people come from around the world to learn the history and the tolerance it took to change the world. All of this is now part of the National Park Service, but just around the corner from here is the A.G. Gaston Motel, hidden in plain sight. CBS 42's Art Franklin has the story of the place and the man who's a national treasure himself.
I had my high school football banquets in there, and even after I got to be an adult, occasionally came to the lounge.
Birmingham Resource Center Executive Director Bob Dickerson reflecting on days gone by at the A.G. Gaston Motel. Dr. Gaston hired Dickerson to work at his bank, Citizens Federal, in 1984.
I wasn't an important part of his life and his business, but he was such a vital part of man.
It was a time of deep segregation in the South. When Gaston opened the motel in 1954, it was the only place black entertainers and black visitors could stay in Birmingham.
This was the place. I mean, you think about history, world history was made here.
When you look inside of here, you've got to think about the conversations that were held.
Yeah, you got to think about the meetings in there. You got to think about the courage that folks had when they were in these rooms, knowing that that folks, you know, in that day didn't have a problem setting off a few sticks of dynamite.
A pair of bombs exploded here on May 11th, 1963, destroying part of the motel. It happened just 2 days after the Big Three, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Fred Shuttlesworth, and Ralph Abernathy announced a truce with white city leaders and the business community to end a violent showdown between demonstrators and police.
They bombed the motel as they bombed a lot of stuff. But you know, that didn't stop anything. When you really think about it, now, you know, some people, the 4 little girls lost their lives and other people lost lives and property, but the movement didn't stop.
The A.J. Gaston Motel was ground zero for civil rights protests and demonstrations. Inside room 30, that was the war room for the movement. It was also Dr. King's headquarters when he was here in Birmingham.
The courageous acts that took place in that room, you know, strategizing on how to fight Bull Connor and fight white supremacy and bigotry and hatred, you know, that all took place right here.
Gaston's role in the movement can't be minimalized. Blacks enjoyed plush amenities at his motel. He provided jobs and changed lives with the A.G. Gaston Boys and Girls Club. Gaston's fingerprints and footprints are throughout Birmingham, especially the Civil Rights District where his bank stood, the Booker T. Washington Insurance Company, and his business college. The motel is crumbling, shattered, and in disrepair, but finally, it's slated for renovations as part of the Birmingham Civil Rights National Monument.
I'm really encouraged about what's going to happen. It's sad to see it in disrepair, but it's still standing. And I think we have to take some kind of solace and happiness in that.